Good evening, you're watching ReNews in English. I am Sona Tumanyan. Following Prime Minister Pashinyan's address regarding the peace treaty, the voice of Azerbaijan is also being heard. Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev, speaking in Stepanakert, the occupied capital of Artsakh, discussed the conditions upon which the signing depends. According to Aliyev, the initialing of the document does not at all mean its final signing. And now, what does this mean? Is Aliyev rejecting the US proposal? What role do Russian-Azerbaijani relations play here? Is Aliyev protecting himself from the Western influence? Meanwhile, Armenia, it seems, is in favor of the Western model for the unblocking of transport links. Aliyev declared that Azerbaijani cargo and citizens passing through should not have to see the face of a single Armenian bodyguard. So, in fact, are there any security guarantees for this period of time? The question is rhetorical.
Armenia, at the level of the Prime Minister's press spokesperson, has responded to the statement by the President of Azerbaijan that Azerbaijani cargo and citizens passing through the so-called Zanzur corridor should not have to see the face of a single Armenian border guard. Nazili Bagdasarian wrote that Aliyev's words fall outside the logic of the discussions that have taken place.
This is, in essence, a hidden territorial claim against Armenia, which is unacceptable and contradicts the spirit and letter of the negotiations and agreements reached to date.
Speaking in Stepanakert, the occupied capital of Artsakh, Aliyev also discussed the conditions for signing the peace treaty with Armenia. During the Shushi Global Media Forum, the president of Azerbaijan said that the peace treaty can be signed immediately after the resolution of two issues, the amendment of Armenia's constitution and the dissolution of the OSCE Minsk group. According to Aliyev, the initialing of the document does not at all mean its final signing. Yes, the text can be initialized beforehand, and the Azerbaijani side has already made such a proposal in Abu Dhabi. But, as you know, the initialing of the document does not at all mean its signing. In other words, a verbal expression of agreement is one thing, but initialing each page of the document is another. I believe we are very close to signing the peace treaty. Thus, Aliyev has made it clear that the act of initialing provides no security guarantees.
Turkey also has something to say about this corridor. The Zangezur corridor will connect our region to the outside world and will boost trade. The main expectation is that this route becomes a symbol of agreement, not a source of contention, said Erdogan. Does his tone seem more good neighborly than Azerbaijan's? Following certain clarifications by Prime Minister Pashinyan regarding the corridor passing through Syunik, high-ranking Iranian officials have been in more frequent dialogue with Armenia. Last week, after a phone call between the secretaries of the two countries' security councils and the Deputy Prime Minister's reception of the Iranian ambassador, Prime Minister Pashinyan and Iranian President Pezeshkian spoke by phone. A chronicle of Armenian-Iranian relations from Simon Hovanesyan.
Following Nikol Pashinyan's recent statements about the so-called Zangezur corridor, in which he revealed some details and spoke of outsourcing, reactions from Iran have intensified. Today, Deputy Prime Minister Meher Grigoryan received the Iranian ambassador to Armenia. They spoke about the prospects for unblocking regional communications. Iranian Ambassador Sobhani also gave an interview to the public television company.
As for the unblocking, you are familiar with our position. We are not against unblocking, but the unblocking must take place within the framework of the territorial integrity and national sovereignty of the countries, and the countries of the region must benefit from it.
Armenian and Iranian officials are holding meetings on several fronts. In Russia, the Armenian and Iranian ambassadors also met and exchanged views on the situation in the region. The Secretary of the Security Council also spoke by phone with the Secretary of the Supreme National Security Council of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Ali Akbar Ahmedian.
I emphasize the position of the Republic of Armenia on the issue of unblocking regional transport links based on the territorial integrity, sovereignty, and jurisdiction.
All of this took place yesterday and today, while a few days ago the U.S. ambassador to Turkey had stated that they proposed the Armenian government take ownership of the outsourced road, which is apparently set to pass through Syunik. During his press conference, Pashinyan did not deny this.
Our concern should be the so-called Zanzur corridor or the NATO-backed Tiranic corridor. So if that road is under the control of American and Western forces, it will mean a weakening of Iran's position. In my opinion, this is a very sensitive period in our region, because after the 2020 war, which we mistakenly thought was a local war between Armenia and Azerbaijan, we immediately saw that terrorists, as well as Mossad elements, Turkish intelligence forces, and British elements infiltrated those regions from both sides of the border.
The expert sees a danger, saying that Baku and Israel want to cut Iran off. He says if the road is the only issue, then it should be under Armenia's control. During the press conference, Pashinyan emphasized that it is not ruled out that the control of the road could be handed over to a foreign state, but this must not happen in violation of Armenia's sovereignty. Simon Hovhannisyan, ReOpen Media.
New developments in Russian-Azerbaijani relations. Aliyev has announced that Azerbaijan is preparing to take the case of the plane that crashed last year to an international court. Aliyev insisted that Azerbaijan will not forget this tragedy until the guilty parties admit their guilt, punish those responsible and pay compensation to the families of the victims, the injured, as well as to Azal for the loss of the aircraft. Aliyev warned that no matter how long the Russian side delays the investigation, Baku will not forget this incident. This statement directly escalates the already tense situation. The Russian side is taking a more diplomatic approach to the discussions about the lawsuit. Russian Presidential Press Secretary Dmitry Peskov told journalists that law-abiding Azerbaijanis enjoy respect in Russia, and Moscow considers it very important that Russians are also respected in Azerbaijan. At the same time, he noted that citizens who commit crimes are held responsible in accordance with the law. Here, of course, the reference is to the recent arrests. The Armenian chess giant Levon Aronian is at the pinnacle once again. This time, our fellow countryman has become the winner of the Fisher Random Chess Super Tournament, receiving $200,000 in prize money. On his way to the final, Aronian scored impressive victories over the world's strongest chess players, including Magnus Carlsen, Hikaru Nakamura, and other famous figures in the chess world. He currently competes under the US flag, but he plays chess with the world in Armenian. Following his victory in the Grand Slam Series tournament, the Grandmaster made a post thanking his family, friends, and fans. Always forward, Aronian wrote. Negotiations between Iran and the EU trio will take place in Geneva on July 27th, Sky News Arabia reports. Earlier, the portal Axios has reported that the US, the UK, Germany, and France have agreed to set the end of August 2025 as the deadline for concluding a nuclear agreement with Iran. Following the spin of the world is David Genjoyan. Let's watch the report.
Russia has carried out massive air attacks on Ukraine using hundreds of drones and dozens of missiles that have struck Kyiv, Lviv, and a number of other cities. There are dead and wounded. Ukraine, in turn, has struck Russia with drones. 23 drones were shot down in the Moscow region alone. Due to the security threat, hundreds of flights were canceled and thousands of people were stranded in airports. Ukrainian President Zelensky has called on Western allies to tighten sanctions against Russia and strengthen Ukraine's air defense. At the same time, Zelensky had called on Russia to return to the negotiating table this week. Iran has hinted at the possibility of resuming nuclear negotiations with Europe, but has stated that Europe's proposals are unrealistic, rejecting the demand for zero uranium enrichment. The E3, the United Kingdom, France, and Germany are making efforts to prevent an escalation of the Israel-Iran conflict by promoting diplomatic solutions. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi emphasized that negotiations would be difficult under the conditions of Israeli bombardment. Iran insists on its right to enrich uranium, making it difficult to reach an agreement. European diplomats have promised to accelerate negotiations to prevent a nuclear crisis. According to a statement by Iran's Minister of Internal Affairs, more than 800,000 Afghans have already left the country. The Taliban government's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Amir Khan Muttaqi, has expressed concern about the mass return of Afghan refugees from Iran, noting that Afghanistan lacks the necessary resources to manage the resulting humanitarian crisis. The country faces serious challenges related to the reintegration of refugees and meeting their needs. A 5.1 magnitude earthquake was recorded the other day in Iran's Semnan province, with its epicenter at a depth of 10 kilometers. The earthquake occurred near the Revolutionary Guard's Military Missile and Space Center, which sparked discussions about whether the tremor could be related to possible explosions. However, according to official and independent sources, it was a natural earthquake. There is no information about casualties yet. Typhoon Waipa has struck Hong Kong and China's southern Guangdong province. Air traffic has been disrupted, with numerous flights canceled in Hong Kong and surrounding areas. Local authorities have warned residents about possible floods and landslides. In Hong Kong, more than 30 people have been injured by the storm, and in the Philippines, which the storm hit earlier, there are also fatalities. In Bangladesh, 28 people were injured as a result of the crash of a training aircraft from the country's Air Force. The aircraft crashed into a college building in the capital, Dhaka. Rescuers are continuing to search for people at the scene. One of the injured is in a condition considered incompatible with life. The cause of the military plane crash is still unknown. Earlier, a helicopter carrying Hindu pilgrims crashed in northern India. All passengers, 6 adults and 1 child, were killed. In South Korea, torrential rains have caused floods and landslides, claiming the lives of 17 people, while 11 are considered missing. The number of injured is still being determined, and authorities report the evacuation of 2,730 people. The population is urged to strictly observe safety rules. Weather forecasts warn that the rains will continue, which could create new dangers. In Yakutia, a bus transporting minors fell into a ravine. The accident resulted in the death of 14 people, including the driver. The number of injured has reached 20. 2 of the hospitalized are in critical condition, 8 are in moderate condition. The bus fell from a height of 25 meters.
This year's Golden Apricot Festival has officially concluded. In the International Feature Film Competition, the Golden Apricot was awarded to Igor Bezanovic's film Fiume o Morte, and the Silver Apricot was awarded to the film Holy Electricity by Georgian director Tato Kotetishvili. The international jury members were particularly impressed by the Armenian hospitality. Yerevan's hospitality to cinema doesn't end with the festival. Cinema is in the streets and daily life of Yerevan. Let Ani Hovanesyan's report be the golden summary of the film festival.
For a whole week, Yerevan lived to the rhythm of cinema. The Golden Apricot became a meeting place for directors, screenwriters, and simply cinema lovers from all over the world. This year, the festival focused on Iranian cinema, with its films about freedom and life. World-renowned Iranian filmmakers Amir Naderi and Jafar Panahi brought new energy to the festival with their presence, say the organizers. The Golden Apricot was full of hugs and kisses.
I think Armenian cinema does have chance to go more too far. I think, with this festival and with this city and with these people and so many great stories around this city and this country, I think in the very future, very soon, Armenian cinema doing something very well. And I think this festival helped very good for the new generation of the filmmaking.
I have a very good impression of the Armenian films because they were very different. That is very important. Armenian cinema is also very close to the issue of culture, and the ambiance, the atmosphere is very beautiful and very, very strong. All the plots are serious, deep, and that's interesting.
The Golden Apricot closed its festival curtain, bestowing its golden fruits upon the best. In the International Feature Film Competition, the Golden Apricot was awarded to Igor Bezanovic's film Fiume o Morte. The Silver Apricot went to Tato Kotetishvili's film Holy Electricity. The jury gave a special mention to Olhad Jurba's film Songs of a Slowly Burning Land. And from the Armenian films in the Apricot Stone competition, the Golden Apricot was awarded to Gor Arushanian's Motherland. The Silver Apricot went to Zak Demirchian's Snake Soup, and a special mention was given to Areg Azatian's film The World is Ours. The Golden Apricot was also full of surprises. The Parajanov Taler Award for contribution to cinema was presented to the jury president, Mauritanian master Abderrahman Sissako. The festival's founder and president, Harutun Hakashatrian, was also awarded the Parajanov Taler Prize.
I've been hearing about for a very long time, so I considered it a great honor that I was invited to be on the jury and to show my latest film. And I was really impressed. It's called Harvest, with beautiful Armenian subtitles, and I was very impressed by how passionate, especially the younger generation, are for cinema.
I'm very happy that it happens in Armenia because so many Armenians have worked in Iranian cinema, and Iranian film history does not belong to Iranian people. It belongs to Armenian people too.
Because I've been traveling a lot with the other films, and lots of cities becoming more and more alike. But here it's just breathtaking. It's just suck you in, and I really I don't know how to express that more than I know it's original.
And finally, at the request of ReOpen Media, the masters of the cinema world gave their advice to the young generation of filmmakers.
Never get disappointed. If you have something to say, you find a way to say it. Don't give up. Don't get scary. Don't get back. Please just do it.
And again, Armenia, some news from the Prime Minister. The dates for the COP17 conference on biodiversity have been confirmed. It will take place in Yerevan from October 18 to 30, 2026. Prime Minister of Armenia Nikol Pashinyan wrote about this on his microblog on X. The Armenian General Athletic Union held its first regional encampment for the Middle East in Lebanon, bringing together over 1,000 scouts. The camp took place in the town of Paskinta in Mount Lebanon under the motto Rise and Raise. Despite the ongoing war and instability in the Middle East, Armenian General Athletic Union succeeded in uniting diaspora youth, using the camp to teach them about Armenian history, culture, the importance of the Armenian cause, and community life. The organization's mission is to prepare physically reliant Armenian youth endowed with high intellectual and moral values. It teaches them to be hardworking, patriotic, and devoted to their nation, law-abiding and disciplined, while developing a sense of responsibility, honor, and a spirit of solidarity and mutual respect.
We are in Mruj Skaintakorin, Lebanon, with more than 1,500 scouts, because our goal has always been to bring together the Homenetmen scouts of the Armenian diaspora, side by side, so they can get to know each other and spend joyful scouting moments together.
I am participating from the Aleppo branch. So here at the camp, we learned many wonderful things. We gained a lot of knowledge. We learned about cultural things, and we learned the history of Homenetmen and also the history of Armenia. The purpose of the camp is to get to know each other and learn new things, and we are very satisfied and had a very wonderful time together.
Let's end the broadcast with a reflection on the controversial perceptions of contemporary art. At the Pompidou Center in France, a visitor ate the banana attached to the wall with adhesive tape, which was part of a famous installation. The visitor to the Contemporary Art Museum was outraged that an ordinary banana is considered a work of art and is sold for millions of dollars. As a sign of protest, he tore the banana from the wall and ate it. This installation by artist Mauricio Catalan had previously been sold for $6.2 million. For more updates, follow us on YouTube, Telegram, Instagram, X, and Facebook. Daily news and full coverage are available on our official website. I'm Sona Tumanyan. Stay informed with ReNews.